Hi, this is Mommy Life Coach, and I'm a certified andragogist. I'm bringing to you andragogy in parenting. I'm applying this to parenting to see how troubled parents and parents in general can communicate with their children as well as with their child's self. Andragogy doesn't make a difference between you as an adult or a child. We are all ages within us. We're all human, and we are all partially male and partially female. So we understand everything. We don't need roles, but we need specifications, we need awareness, and we need some individual connections. So I'm gonna speak to you more from the book, Consciousness Since Birth. The PPD talks. Both breastfeeding and not breastfeeding can lead to slight or full-on depression or feelings of failure, which relate to postpartum depression. I believe personally that any birth leads to an intensive depression of 6 months, on average, until the body has made a semi-recovery and the mother and child are physically less dependent on each other. After the initial 6 months, the depression will mellow down and come in phases of physical pain, with a height at 11 to 12 months of age of the baby. After the first birthday, everything will seem to go much better and there will be new challenges ahead. As a matter of fact, we cannot really know if the breastfeeding is helping our body to be less depressed and more at ease, or if your psyche feels depressed, being the absolute constant food source to your baby. I've experienced the possibility of feeding my second baby with both breast and bottle simultaneously, according to his demand, and I think it was the perfect balance for a mother to keep her sanity. If it is possible for you and your baby to vary some breastfeeding with a bottle or breast pump milk or with formula, that is a way to go to get your break as a mommy. Personally, I did not have that break with neither of my babies, and I do not think I did well not taking that break. Other people should be feeding your baby with bottles so you can get a rest from the routine and catch up on sleep, if you wish. So by default, you will need an electric breast pump machine in order to ease out on some feeding sessions and perhaps ask for daddy to stay home and go for that girls' night out or alone time. Becoming unpregnant. A postpartum situation or depression is the situation we find ourselves in after birth up to months and years to come. The details and intensity depend on the intensity or complexity of your birthing and healing process, including the hard work and overwhelming experience of the first year with your baby, which I call the diamond year. I believe, as mentioned, that all women have PPD for a period of time, more intensely in the first 6 months, due to the physical and psychological impact of the birth event on the body, mind, and soul, as well as the aftermath and the newborn phase. Becoming unpregnant, caring for newborn, body rebalancing, body recovery, hormonal cocktails, being underfed and sleep deprived, amongst other complications, are not to be taken lightly. Unfortunately, society and our individual lifestyles provide no mercy. Okay. Something can go wrong through the process of birthing, and honestly, I would say usually it goes off track. The birth of ourselves as a mother and of our child affects us as a person and a woman in relationship to ourselves, our child, as well as the world. If we cannot find an inner modus operandi, we can live forever a life of regret, trauma, sorrow, and sadness. Talking about the taboo, or your taboo, is the only way through the trauma, isolation, and breaking into normality. I believe PPD comes in various degrees. Postpartum depression can exist for years and years and years to come in mother's world and mother's reality. The depression can relate to any aspect of the birth, the people surrounding her birth, her body, the baby, the child as a person, or her own life as a mother or previous child. So a new way of looking at pregnancy and beyond. Ideally, the mother will bond with her baby despite the depression. Any mother can find herself over the years in a situation where she rejects her baby, either emotionally or physically. This does not happen by a conscious decision. Rather, it happens by physical dislike and incapability of bonding and caring for the baby or the person for a certain hour, day, week, month, or year. It is stronger than herself. The other possibility is for her to have the will to take care of her baby, yet finding herself blocked and incapable to take the actual actions and set in a caretaker's role and behavior. I know and believe this experience can also come later on in motherhood. In that sense, there is an amazing chemistry and force at play when it comes to mothers, fathers, and their offspring. I'm a believer that the old concept of postpartum depression is not the right narrative for what PPD actually insinuates. We all are depressed, suppressed, and oppressed, and whatnot in various degrees on various levels. How about we call it post-party depression? Life is a hangover. Our body needs to get out of the rush from a late night party. The only difference that the party of birthing continues for over a year and the hangover is continuous. A birth of a mother and the raising of a child will bring out the best in us, but only if we allow to evolve with the change. Becoming parents, coming of age, and entering new decades in our lives has an extreme significant meaning. To great sadness, we have lost all the native tales, rituals, passings, meanings, and symbolism that go along with these rites of passage. We are lost in a limbo land when it comes down to Western cultures and American pop culture. The world in our womb. PPD narrates. I'll continue this in the next video. Thank you.